If you do not have the ability to get out of your own way, this is a rough life to live. Well, what's going on, guys? So, I guess it's time for the video that I teased earlier. I wasn't really teased, but just, it's been some time. I wanted to go over something about trucking. It's not even TMC specific. It's more, you know, the whole thing was about lessons that I've learned, things that I could have done, things I could have done different. And I guess the title of this for me would be Get Out of Your Own Way. And I'll expound on that by telling some stories about the past 5 weeks, about some things in training that you really kind of got to have your eye on and be aware of. And when they say that trucking is a lifestyle, not just a job, I think we all kind of go, yeah, okay, yeah, sure, you know, it's still a job. That's what I'm going to do for work. It's going to pay bills, you know. But it really is a lifestyle. And there's things that you have to be mentally prepared for going into this. This isn't 9 to 5. This isn't making a product. This isn't even providing a service. This is a lifestyle. And so I go back and I'll kind of talk about, you know, growing through orientation. Like I said, for me, I went through the VA to pay for my schooling, to get my CDL, which was a financial burden. And a lot of people coming into this have a financial burden. And it's just like, they got to make money. I need to be making money because, you know, you got to work a week before you get paid. So really it's 2 weeks in pretty much any job that you go to. And that can, going into trucking with that mentality, can cause you some problems. And it almost caused me some problems. So going into this, I wanted to be open-minded. I also used the word commitment. I made a commitment that when I started this, not knowing, you know, you can read about it, you can research about it, but not knowing it, I made a commitment. My commitment is 6 months. I want to do it longer. I plan to do it longer. My commitment is no matter what, 6 months. And Inky Johnson, who's a guy that I listen to, he's a football player, says, you know, commitment is what happens when it's time to take action after the feelings in which you said you would do something have happened. So somebody says, hey, will you help me? Oh, sure, I'll help you. And when they call you 4 months later, are you still committed to them? Are you still willing, you know, to do what you said you would do? And so that was tested. I'm just a normal guy. I mean, there's nothing special. Like I said, I just believe in working hard, but there's nothing special about me. I'm not any smarter than anybody. I'm 41. I have lived some life. I have been through death and things like that in life, and I've lost good jobs and etc. And so I was going into training, and when you go into training, you have to realize the world does not revolve around you, and finances can make that difficult. And so I will tell some stories that are embarrassing, but they're true. As embarrassing as it is, I'm a smoker. I am not proud of that fact. I have tried to quit many times. I was the one that told the guys who were in the Marine Corps, said, all you can do now is smoke cigarettes and get tattoos. And I didn't do any of that. I was a good kid, and now I have tattoos and I smoke cigarettes. Go figure, right? But they sat down when we were talking about trainers, and they were talking about profile. They want to match you with your trainer, you know, match you. What are your preferences? And my preference was that I said I want a smoker. And they said, well, you understand that means you may sacrifice home time because we only have so many trainers. And now that you want a smoker, well, now you've limited your pool of trainers even more. And I was like, hey, I'm fine with that. Whatever, it is what it is. So 2 days before graduation, I get my trainer, and he's not a smoker. He trains smokers, but he's not a smoker. And what was the point? Why did I do this? And I got real frustrated. I was like, I'm going to go tell them that, you know, they need to find me another trainer because I'm a smoker and they asked me what I wanted and they didn't give it to me. Not necessarily in that brashness, but I was just frustrated. And then I said, you know, no. You believe in God, I believe in God. You don't believe in God, you believe in karma. You believe whatever you believe, okay? But I calmed myself down and said, this is a process. There's a reason that TMC has given me this trainer. TMC did not give me the middle finger and give me this trainer, okay? So we're not going to say anything. We're going to keep our mouth shut. We're going to go with this trainer. Get home 2 days later, get a call from said trainer. Oh, by the way, I'm on vacation next week, so I'll pick you up in 7 days. I'm going to call TMC because in my mind, that means that's another, you're not training. If you're not on the trainer truck, you're not getting paid. So I just lost a week's worth of money. There's 2 more weeks. I got bills. I already gave up 3 weeks to go to CDL school. This does not work for me. And again, I made a commitment. I got out of my way and said, you know, I'll take my kids hunting. It's not expensive. We have a camper. My kids eat cheap. It'd be quick trips because they're young. Greatest week ever. Killed 3 deer. My young 10-year-old got a nice 8-point. My 7-year-old got his first deer. My daughter has a story to tell on a spike. It wasn't the biggest, but it was a story. It was okay. And so I've said that numerous times. And so guess what? I met my trainer. Didn't smoke. Would not allow me to smoke in the truck. And so I was like, but what if he was going to want to teach me something? And I started spotlighting. And that's what people do. That is what your brain does. Your job is to keep you alive, right? So when something starts not going your way, you start spotlighting. And I spotlighted big time. All the reasons why this smoking thing was going to be such a big deal. And guess what? After 5 weeks, it wasn't a big deal. It didn't cause one problem. I didn't die. He didn't chew me out. He didn't get pissed off. It worked out. Going out. We were gone for 2 weeks. I'm trying to get home the week after Thanksgiving, if you remember, right? On the Monday before Thanksgiving, we delivered in Dallas, 30 minutes from my house. And we had to wait. And they said, well, we don't have a load for you. Go to the truck stop. And I said, sweet. Hey, can my wife come get me? He's like, I don't care, as long as you're back by 7 o'clock. And then we start going to the truck stop, this 10 minutes away, in the opposite direction of my house. Why are we doing this? I'm like, I could be home right now. I can see my wife, my kids. I haven't seen them in over 2 weeks. This is going to happen. That's going to happen. And he's like, we don't know what direction we're going to go. If I take you 30 minutes to the truck stop by your house and we get a load and it's south of Dallas, we just lost 2 hours. It is a lifestyle, not just a job. And guess what? We didn't even stay at the truck stop because they ended up pulling a load out of their ass, and we got a load and we went down south, which would have been the opposite direction of my house. I had to get out of my own way. There are things that are going to happen in training that are not going to make sense, that you're not going to like, that you may not even agree with. But TMC or your company, any company, knows what they're doing. They have a process. They are not out to screw you over, right? So I call my trainer. We're doing this. We're training. Hey, can I test out early? He's like, I don't think so, but we'll see. And so I had 5 weeks, 4 weeks. We'll talk to the training manager, see what we can do. All right, man, this could be it. This could be it. This could be it. No, you're definitely not getting out of here in 4 weeks because of the Thanksgiving, because of this, because of the miles. You need to keep going. Could have thrown a fit. I was riding my trainer, very boring. He was very bored. I was very bored. We were running team, basically. It's like, I'm not learning anything. This is dumb. But guess what? I worked on my backing. I got out of my way. Phone call from the trainer and manager on Friday. Hey, you're going to have to do 5 weeks, but come in early next week. So you know what that meant? I got released on Wednesday. I did 1 load, and I get my $1,000 guarantee for 1 load because it's a weekly guarantee. Let's talk about that. I got my new truck. Everybody, so sorry about that, technical difficulties. Let's talk about that. I got my truck, 296 miles. You saw the video. Got in it, got all my brand new stuff, load of SSAB, which I told you. This metal, do trailer swap, get 100 miles, check engine light. Sorry, Kev, you're not doing that load. Bring it back to Des Moines. You're close enough. Would you give that load to somebody else? Okay? Back to Des Moines, stay in the hotel, get up the next morning. We got another load, 2 hours away, go load it. Oh, by the way, there's a delay because you're going to get there at 10:30. It doesn't load till 3. You just have to wait at the truck stop. Okay, it's fine. Just got to do 1 load. Get to the truck stop, back in, check engine light. Gonna have to take it to a dealership. There's 130 miles away. You just lost that load. Oh, by the way, by losing that load, you're not going home this weekend. You had 2 loads. They were trying to get me down south. I was supposed to be another driver. TMC is doing everything they can, but the truck's just not working. It's just got an issue. These things just happen. So I start spotlighting. Oh my God, wait a second. So if I don't get a load by Friday, then I'll only get 2 days of training pay. I won't get my guarantee. How am I going to make this? I'm not going to get home. All the negative things. So it's safety. Your brain's trying to get you to stay safe. And so it's spotlighting so that you don't take risks. It's going to be okay. So I get a load. I get done. All this SSAB that comes, like, ended up going there anyway. And I had a load going to Michigan. Iowa, Texas, Michigan. That's not home. There's a reason. So I could have said, why are you giving me this load? Way to go, fleet manager. Just screw me up. I send ready to try to give Texas. You tell me I don't have anything with trading home, and you're sending me to Michigan. And he says, go to Michigan. He calls me right before I'm about to leave and said, the reason I'm sending you to Michigan is because when you drop off right up the road, there's another load going from Michigan all the way to Texas. That means my load from Michigan to Texas is going to get me to drive all weekend, which is fine. I had a 34 in the middle of the week because of the way training worked out. And on Monday, which is when you drop your first load to start your week, I'm getting a Michigan to Texas load paycheck. I won't need my guarantee in week 2. Life has a way of working itself out. Is it all peaches and cream? Is it all good? Absolutely not. A lot of it sucks. And a lot of the plan we don't see. But I keep telling my family, you woke up this morning. I assure you it can be worse. The story I told my manager when he was like, hey, I'm not able to get you home, is like August 2002. I left on a deployment when I was in the Marine Corps. We're supposed to be home in February. In February, I had to call my wife and say, we're not coming home. Not only we're not coming home, I don't know when we're coming home. And not only do I not know when we're coming home, I can't talk to you anymore because I've got things going on. Iraq. Going into Iraq. So I assure you, it can get worse. So you just have to stay out of your own way. Do not let TMC or any company abuse you. Do not let them take advantage of you. But this is a lifestyle. There are no guarantees. They guarantee you they'll get you home on the weekend 46 out of 52. Guess what? That may not happen. I'm sorry to break the news to you. They try. My fleet manager worked his butt off to get me home. They were swapping with drivers on runs and doing everything they could. And at the last second when it just couldn't happen, they still took care of me. Did it suck? Yes. Am I sitting in a crappy truck stop in some little podunk town in Texas? Yes. It's going to be okay. You have to tell yourself that. You have to get out of your way and not try and run the show in trucking. You want to run the show, go buy your own truck and do things your own way and see how that works out for you. I've been a logistics planner. I've worked around trucks. I've run a fleet of trucks when I was in construction. Very similar, Peterbilts, but they were flatbeds. And I couldn't start my own trucking company. I have to learn. So the biggest thing that I had for takeaway for training was that you have to get out of your own way and let things unfold. You cannot get wound up. You cannot spotlight. You cannot assume that everything is about you and going to go your way. Because in trucking, as most truckers know, we all like to say, and you've heard it said numerous times, nothing would be on the shelves at your supermarket if it wasn't for truckers. You know, there's family, they stay away from their families and do this, and their families and do that. Well, I hate to tell you, the presuming public doesn't care about that. You're picking up at company A that makes widgets. You're sending it to company B who needs the widgets to take care of their customer. Neither company cares about you. They're happy to see you. They're not like, who's this jerk? They don't mind you, but you're stopping them from doing what they're doing. You are not their priority for either end. The priority is for company A is to make the product. The priority for company B is to put their product wherever they need it and sell it. You are not the priority. And I'm a truck driver, and I don't go pick up a jug of milk at the grocery store. And so thank God the trucker that drove this in and spent the time away from his family. I go, I need milk. My kids are screaming, right? You got to have that mentality. You've got to be smart. You've got to come in as financially ready as you can, or have ways to work it. My wife works. Again, we were never in the precipice of not eating, but there were things that we needed to do and things that we had plans that didn't happen because I chose to do things a certain way, and they worked out. It does work out. You just have to be careful. You just have to stay mentally strong. And training, if I look back at it, was a blast. But there are so many little things that happen, especially in trucking, because it is uncertain, that can trip you up very easily. I see people all the time work for a company and quit because they get in their own way. No, go work here, this company and that company, or quit trucking altogether because they get in their own way. It's amazing the number of people who will never know true success because they quit right before they were about to succeed. So I don't know if this is for me forever. I've got a commitment of 6 months to TMC and this industry. I'd really like to do a commitment of 2 years, but a lot can happen in 2 years. In 9 months, I lost my grandmother, my grandfather, and my father. I've seen how bad it can get, and that still wasn't as bad as it can get, because it can always be worse. I woke up today. You've got to go into it with that mentality in trucking. You've got to be able to roll with the flow. Because if you start getting hung up on things, you're going to be miserable out here. And if your personality just doesn't allow that, then you may not want to do this career. Our trucks at TMC are beautiful. I got it washed today for the first time. I'd like to take a picture, but it's dark. And it still only goes 62 miles an hour. No matter how pretty it is, it only goes 62 miles an hour. Because TMC believes in their strategy and their ESOP, and they're giving their customers getting good gas mileage and saving on fuel and paying their drivers more. They have a reason why they do it. If you don't agree with it, don't come to work for TMC. You just have to have that mentality that it is what it is, and just roll with it. Again, I haven't been abused. I haven't been mistreated. My trainer didn't yell at me one time. He never spoke down to me. I haven't been insulted by anybody when I screwed up out on the backing range when I was in orientation. Everyone here wants to see you succeed. And I think a lot of companies, again, this is not TMC specific, this is truck driving. They have money invested in you, every company. But they bring you in the door, no matter what job you're doing, they have money invested. They want to see you succeed. Nobody hires you to see you fail, right? TMC wants you to succeed, and they've given you all the tools to succeed. And you know what happened tonight when I backed in the truck stop? I couldn't do it. There was a truck parked wrong, and I tried to do it twice, and I couldn't get the trailer into the spot while the guy in the 18-wheeler next to me is videoing all this. So I had to take a couple victory laps or failure laps, and I couldn't get it. And you know what? Another spot opened. I went and pulled in that spot, and I'm sitting here making this video, and I'll get up tomorrow and I'll roll with it. So training videos are done. Now it's about truck driving videos. So I like to have something happen to me good so that I could share it. I like to have something interesting happen so that I could share it. That's the goal of the future videos. I do have one little quickie video I'll make. I'm going to make that a separate video. This one is entirely too long, but there's a lot I wanted to say about little tips and tricks that I've learned. All of this disclaimer is coming from a guy who doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Just remember that. Take that into account. You're learning from a guy who's learning as he goes. So, hey, questions, comments, leave them below. Any ideas, anything I can do, anything you want videos of. I've actually answered some questions on email and Instagram. I don't know how much help I am. I'm a basic information guy, but I'm having fun. Can't wait to see my family this weekend. Christmas is coming up. There will be another video before Christmas, so I will not wish you a Merry Christmas. You just have to wait on that. So, get some sleep. I've been running all weekend, so I got to watch my hours, but bright and early tomorrow to deliver this load we got on, I will get a picture on Instagram of something tomorrow, because I washed the truck and it's pretty, but the load will be unloaded in the dark because I have a 6 a.m. appointment. So I'll be up and at 'em early, so I'm going to bed. So God bless. Let's get rolling.